Hello everyone, I'm Dhanushka Veerasekara. My presentation is Recruitment Status of Sambar Deer in Horton Plains National Park, Sri Lanka. Horton Plains National Park is located 32 kilometers away from Nuwara and 8 kilometers away from Ohio, and this is a protected area in Central Highlands of Sri Lanka. This region was designated a national park in 1988, and it is declared as a natural World Heritage Site in Central Highlands by UNESCO in 2010. Many species in this area are endemic to region. Sambar in Horton Plains National Park is the largest ruminant. In other places of the island, Sambar is a solitary animal. But in Horton Plains National Park, Sambar gather as large herds for grazing and for searching for breeding opportunity. Sambar deer in Horton Plains National Park mate throughout the year, and they show calves all around the year. But there is high peak calving period in National Park that is considered as the calving season. The gestation is probably 8 months. Normally, these hinds in Horton Plains National Park give birth to one calf at a time. The objective of our study is estimating the rate of recruitment by birth in Sambar population in Horton Plains National Park. To study the Sambar population in Horton Plains National Park, we have been using 7 transects. Out of these 7 transects, first 4 transects are starting from Pattipola and ending from Ohio, and then the 7th transect is moving towards the Kirigalpotta, and the 5 and 6 transects are towards the world's end. All these transects are made along the roads, and all these transects are crossing the grasslands in both sides. Methodology: field data collection. The experiment is done for 3 years, starting from January 2018 and ending from December 2020. 3 days a month, during which individual counts were recorded with information on growth stage and gender. A standard table of characters developed earlier was used to identify the life stages of Sambar. You can see the table that we have been developed to identify the different life stages of Sambar in Horton Plains National Park. Along with that table, the methodology that introduced by Dharmalingam in 2012 was used for Sambar identification in Horton Plains National Park. According to the identification or system methodology introduced by Dharmalingam, newborn calves are shorter than the mother's belly, but the subadults are grown above the mother's belly but smaller than the mother. Identification of bucks' growth stage is comparatively easier. The 1.5 years old buck have only single spike antler, and then when it's closer to 2 years, or may it's passing 2 years, the antlers grow with 2 spikes, that is only the broad tine and the main beam. After 2 years, when it's 3 and above, the antlers are with 3 spikes, and those antlers grow bigger with the age. Antler stages of Sambar bucks are clear. As we see in image G, antlers cast, and as we see in image A, the wound get healed by covering the place with velvet-like skin, similar to all the other deer species, and then this place grow as a bud, as we see in image B, and this bud is rich with blood supply, and this is called the velvet. And then these velvet antlers divide into Y shape, and one is turned into broad tine, and the behind ones are turned into main beams. The main beams grow longer than broad tine, as we see in image D, and this main beam is producing another branch to make it 3 buds. And then these velvet get stripped, velvet get cleared, and this time Sambar rub their antlers against branches and remove this velvet, as we see in image E, and they get these hard antlers as we see in image F. And this is the time they increase their testosterone level in their body, where they are ready to mate, and they display the sparring behavioral units. So the highest hard-antlered Sambar deer percentage was recorded in November and December, and that is the lowest velvet-antlered Sambar deers. And then the velvet-antlered Sambar deers is high in number in July and August period, and this November and December period is 96% of the male population or adult male population is with hard antlers. And this is the period that they have been displaying more mounting behaviors. And this period we consider as breeding season. And after this breeding season, most of the females are pregnant and they develop their embryo and do calving in July and August period. So the most number of calves were observed during July and August, as we have observed the highest number of mating behavior on October to December period. And this is considered as calving, and calf per hind ratio was 0.51. And then the number of newborn calves average we observed were 170. After 6 months old, the male calves are turning into newbing bucks. The newbing bucks are with a grown pedicle, and the subadult females are also 6 months old or 6 months after calving. And the highest number of these subadults, so both of these newbing buck and the subadult females are collectively known as subadults, and the subadults were observed, the highest numbers was observed in January to February period, that is 75. This, when they turn into 1.5 years, these newbing bucks are turning into spike bucks. As we discussed in previous slides, the single spike bucks are seen after this newbing buck stage. And then the subadult females are turning into heifers. They are ready to mate. And the highest number of spike bucks and the heifers were observed again November and December, because this is the period that they start rutting their antlers, and with the high testosterone concentration they are getting ready for mating, and that the number is 25. Newborn calves in Horton Plains National Park survive only 44% up to 6 months stage, and then when they turn into 1 year and a half, only 27% has been survived. Horton Plains National Park is a place that we get more Sambar, and that place is commonly known as window for Sambar, but their survival rate is comparatively low. A study conducted about the Sambar deer population in Horton Plains National Park shows the highest numbers in November-December period, and this is the period that the more number of Sambar in grasslands have been observed. And then they gather in these grasslands for grazing as well as searching for breeding opportunity. Highest number of Sambar has seen in 2018, and gradually it has declined up to 2021. And then we can see another high number in July and August. This is the period that the Sambar calves are observed. Discussion. Forest dieback is a phenomena that have been observed in Horton Plains National Park. Sambar deer is generally a browser. They browse on some woody species. In Horton Plains National Park, other than this tree bark damage by rubbing their antlers, we were able to observe that tree bark has been damaged by stripping them. And this is common symptom which was observed in all the woody species. We have been identified this by using 100 meters long transects, as you see in the first image. In Horton Plains National Park, though the Sambar do browsing and bark stripping, they are preferable diet is Penicitum clandestinum and Platycidum glabrum. Now, this Penicitum species are grown as patches in Horton Plains National Park. If you observe this image, you can see Chrysopogon selenicus, that is native grass in Horton Plains National Park, and then this Penicitum species as patch. And other than these two grasses, you have some other grasses also sometimes consumed by Sambar. But their most preferable grass is this Penicitum species. And these Penicitum grass patches are distributed as patches in Horton Plains grasslands. And these are invasive grasses which have been arrived during the potato cultivation is going on in Horton Plains National Park. During this potato cultivation, they have brought up cow dung to fertilize the soil. And with the cow dung, these Penicitum seeds have been arrived to Horton Plains National Park, and now they have gone through the grasslands as patches. The Sambar graze in these patches. If you see this image, you can see these Sambar is getting enter into these patches for grazing. During the present study, we have been observed these Penicitum patches by satellite images, and we notice that Penicitum patches are shrinking because this Chrysopogon selenicus native grass is approaching the Penicitum grass patches. Conclusion. Approximately 56% of newborn Sambar deer are not likely to be survive beyond 6 months of age. The identification of the growth phase visually was more effective in Sambar deer in Horton Plains National Park. Sambar deer annual population does not show a clear difference. This is due to the low recruitment status of Sambar in Horton Plains National Park. Thank you.